This conference will now be recorded.
Okay guys, so in our last demo we talk about bit and pieces of Power BI. So today we are going to officially kickstart our Power BI training. Okay. So as I mentioned last time, I told you the installation of Power BI, and then we talk about how we can create accounts. Are you good now with the setup of your Power BI and the account as well before we move forward?
Yeah, I did set up
Yeah, I'm good with that.
and 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 yeah, I did set up. That's all I did.
Okay,
I created
so
an account. I did set up, but I don't know how does the cloud one looks like because
yes, so the cloud one, once you log in, it should look like something this. Okay, that means it will be empty. You won't see anything here. I have so
oh
many
yeah, that's true.
icons.
That's why I was little it was nothing. So I was thinking whether that's a real. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what I was supposed to get or no. I wasn't sure. So it's blank or something like that.
right. Yeah, it'll be a pure blank. There won't be anything. So that's okay. That's okay. All right. So fine.
But
So we will.
right now, I have a different computer, so I don't have that.
That's
I'm
okay.
at work,
You
so.
you can take it later. No, not an issue. All right. So today we are going to talk about our Power BI. So Power BI gives us a desktop tool, a client application, using which we can develop the different reports, and finally we can publish those reports on our cloud service. So currently Power BI does not give any private cloud. Whatever we are hosting, on the same cloud which is given by Microsoft. So if we want to have a customized cloud or tenant, the functionality is not available as of now in Power BI. We can have maximum that the we can get in a premium license that will give us a separate node that will help us in faster processing of the data, but in terms of a private cloud, as of now it is not there, right? So to get started with Power BI, let's look at the first of all the functionality and the more of the options. So if you will see on our right hand side, we have a visualization pane. In this particular visualization pane, we have the different charts available in Power BI. So and different visualization available in Power BI. And not only just these visualization, there are many more as well from the marketplace. So if you will see, if we go to the marketplace here, that is a marketplace where Power BI has another visualization created by the developers or the Power BI community or the Microsoft itself, right? So on my left hand side here, we can see the three different tabs. First, we have a visualization pane, then we have a data tab, and then we have a, sorry, first we have a report tab, then we have a data tab, and then we have a modeling tab. So we can look all these three different tabs. What are they? Okay, so as we were talking about the visualization, so this is a marketplace. Here we can get the custom visualization which we can add, and if any requirement like a bullet chart or a histogram or dual KPI, so there are many different visualization is available. We'll talk about that in our
So
coming.
these information they come with the software, right, self, or you need to download or something.
No, so how it is, let's say, so this is, so if you'll see with your software by default, all this visualization will come, but there
Mhm.
are so many visualization like Power BI cannot just fit here. So they have given the person of option, like if whatever you want, like, anything customized, you can download it. So it still remains free. You don't have to like pay anything for that. So if you'll see, just I added a visualization, it say the
Uh,
visualization is successfully imported into this report. Okay, so if you
so
want to add any another one, let's say we'll go to filters and I just want to add a filter, right? So I can just add it here. So whatever depends on my, because most of the time we will use like a bar graph or a pie or a donut or a a map chart. But sometimes if we have any custom requirement and we are looking for more specific visualization, then we can go to our marketplace and get some idea out of it.
okay.
Okay. So now coming to back to our report pane. So here we will see this is my report pane, and in the report pane what we can do is we can create the different visualizations here. So if we have to add a new visualization, I can just click on a new visualization, and then Power BI will give us a blank chart, and I can select that which visualization it has to be, and then we can add the different data points. So talking about the data, that how we are going to import data or how we are going to connect to the data in our Power BI report. So for that, what we have to do is once we click on the get data, we have the option to connect with the n number of data sources. If you will see here, so if you will see here, Power BI give us the connectivity with Excel, text, XML, SQL Server, Access, and number of data sources it will give. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use for my training purpose. I have a data set which I'll use. Access. It is a Access database file, and I will share the same with you guys as well, which you can use, and I'll give you some scenarios to do it. All right. So I have a Access database file. I'll connect with it. So how we are going to connect with this? If you will see, this is my Access database file, and I'll open it. So now if you'll see, it is connecting with my Access database. So if you will see what are the tables are available there, it is all mentioned here, right? So I will select the tables which I want currently. So currently, let's say I'll be using DCal, that is a calendar table, then D customer, then D product, D sale type, D stat, and F sales. These tables I'm going to use currently. Okay, and I will say load. So load means then this table will be loaded in my Power BI report. All the structure with this data will come and sit inside my Power BI report. Right. So once you click on load, if you'll see here, the data is loading. When I'm saying the data is loading, so Power BI, what it will do, it will actually load the data as well into the report, and then with the data only, we will publish it to our Power BI cloud service. Okay, so every time we are if there is any new data, so what we have to do is we have to refresh our report from here as well, from the using Power BI desktop, or if we have to, let's say once we are into production and every day we are getting a new set of data, so same time we will set up a gateway. Okay, I was talking about the gateway other day. Okay, we will set up a gateway which will help us in the continuous synchronization between data at on-premise and the cloud dashboard. All right. So talking about so if you will see, these are the list of the tables which we have just imported from Power BI. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is look, I can check the data here inside my data tab. So first is my report tab, second is my data tab, and third is my modeling tab. Okay, so here I can see I have a table called customer type category, and then I have a D calendar table. Basically, this table have like date, year, quarter name, month, and month and month name. Okay, then we have a customer table which is having a customer data. Then I have a product table. Okay, then I have a sale type table, and then I have a statistics table, and finally I have a fact table called F sales. So here, what we are trying to do is we are trying to build a report around a data model. So this data model, if we will see now, to analyze the model better, what we can do is once we will come to the model, here we can see the relationship between the model, okay, and the related tables. If you will see here, my F sales table is linked to D sale type, then D product, and then the D customer. Okay, so these are the information which tells us that our table is directly. So this is the table how the structure is look like. So now when we deal with the large, like so many tables, and we have to define the relationship between the tables, that how one table is joined to another table, and what will be the primary and foreign relation. So if there is a relation already defined at the data model in the database, let's say you are working with the SQL Server or XSDB, so you already have created a primary key and foreign key relation there, then the Power BI can detect that relation and it will import here into your data model as well. But if there is a no relation has been defined at the database level, then we can create the relation directly into our Power BI model also. And why the relation is important? Because on the basis of this relation only, when we are going to create a visualization, the charts will talk to each other. The other day, if you remember, I show you that how the data interaction is happening. So on the basis of this data model only, the interaction will happen with the within a model. So now if you will see, let's say that I haven't created a relation at the data model level. Okay. So now what I have to do is I have to create a relation looking at my data set, or I know that I need to have a relation between a sale type ID and the sale type ID from the Excel. So how we can do that? So if we have to create a relation, we can just select the particular column from my source. Okay, I won't say the source from my first table, and I'll just drag it to my another table to the field with which we have to connect. So now if you will see, a relation has been created between sale type ID and the sale type ID from F sales and the D sale type table. Okay, similarly, now let's say I want to create another relation between a DT sale and the DT of this calendar table, that on the basis of date. So we can, if I'll drag it here, now if you will see, it is asking me for creating a relation because there are the different type of relations. So we'll talk about that as well. So currently it is supporting a many to many, that the data set which is available here, the same data set can be repeated here as well. So we will create a many to many relationship, and once we click OK, we can see that a new relationship has been created here as well. All right. So this modeling is to do the data modeling part, which we used to do back in data warehousing or the ETL, I will say, that we have the different tables available from the different sources, and then we are trying to join them together. So instead of doing outside our report, we can do directly all these things inside our report. Okay. So now there is a D stat table. So we can join sale stat ID to the stat ID. So for that, I'll just verify the data. So if you will see, yes, I will create a relation here between a sales stat ID and a stat ID. So now there is a relation has been defined on the basis of sales stat and the stat ID. Okay. So now this is kind of a data model looks like what we have created, right? Now before we will go further, we try, okay, so this was the one way how we can create a relationship. Another way, if we have to create a relation, like if sometime we have the so many tables and we are not able to understand the drag and drop and create a relation. So how we can do that is there is an option called manage relationships, and if you will see, all the relationships which has been available in our model is listed here. So this is from and to table has been defined, that from which table to which table. Now if you want to create or delete, so if you want to delete any relationship, we can, select that as well. Okay. So if you'll see, if you want to delete a relationship, we just select that and we can click on delete. If you want to create a new relationship, then how we can do that is we'll just click here new, and we have to select the from table. Okay, which table will be the from table, and then the target table. Okay, so if you'll see, there is a one relation already defined. So like this, if there's no, we can just select the particular field on which we have to create a relationship. I'll just show you. Let's say I'll first delete this relationship here, and now I will add a, okay, so I was showing you that this one, let's delete, sorry. So this one, let's delete. Okay, we just, once it is deleted, now I'll say new, and now if you'll see, I'll select the customer table, and here it, even if you show, it automatically defines as well. So we have to just select the list of columns and have to select the cardinality and click OK. A relationship will get created. Or the option is to say auto detect. So auto detect also will work,
Yeah.
and it will say,
Can you tell me a little bit about the cardinality, like the
yeah,
relation?
I'll come to that. Say that what is cardinality and what are the different type of filter directions will be there. So, so now if you'll see, this is so I have just created a new relation. Now talking about the different options inside a relationship. So let's say I'll go back to my customer ID. Okay. All right. So now here, if you will see, this is my D customer table and F sales table. Now, cardinality is the option that how you are connecting your data, that what relation it is going to be between your from table and the to table. That the data, if you will say many to one, means I have to do ulta, opposite, sorry. So if you will see, now if you will see the difference, when I selected the many to, now the relationship is showing many to one, means this customer ID will be repeating here multiple times, and this will be only repeating one time. Okay, so it will look at the data and then it define the cardinality. So if it is a many to one, that means the from table will be having the repetitive set of the data, and then the target will be having as a single set. Then if it is one to one, then both is having only one record at a time. Okay, then many, one to many, so one to many will be this one. So now it is one to many, and then many to many means both it is repeating. So it, what it will do, it is just like, our join, like one to one join, or many to many join, or many to one. So it is just creating a type of join on the basis of our data set. So if I will try to create here a one to one relationship, it won't be possible, because if you will see, there it cannot be created. There's no one-to-one relationship here. The data is repeating, but here the data is not repeating. So in this scenario, the fit relationship which we have to do is one to many. Plus there is a cross filter direction. Cross filter direction is when we apply the when we create a relationship, we can filter the data from table, not at the to table, if it is a single direction. Okay, so means if I will select some data from my to table and try to filter it opposite, it won't work. it is only like a one-way traffic. But once I will say both, the filter will happen both the way. So it is two-way traffic. Okay. So this is our cardinality and the cross filter direction. If I'll say make this relationship active, so it will start working. And now you click OK, and you have a relationship created here in your relationship tab. Further, at the any point, if you want to change the relationship, then we can just edit and check that yes, our relationship needs to be edited or something. We can do that with our relationship here in the model tab. Okay. So now if you will see, we have created a relationship in case of our DT sales table with the calendar. So in this scenario, if you will see, the relationship which we are getting is a many to many, because it is saying that detecting at the data, it looks like a many to many relationship. That's why they have automatically suggested a many to many relationship, and the cross filter direction is also both. So if you will see, if it is a single, we can select which one we have to do, and it will be actively in case of your many to many relationships. So we are saying both way the data can be filtered out. All right. Now, once the relationship is all set here, okay. Now, when we talk about the data modeling, so do you understand the snowflake schema and the star schema?
A little bit.
Okay. So whenever we deal in our any, like, the data model, we'll try to have the things arranged in case in like a star schema, so our data model is better, and we are having a less dependency like a snowflake schema. So in this scenario, we will see that how we can, if you will look here, if I'll just arrange this. So what kind of a model it looks like? Does it look like a star or does it look like a snowflake schema?
This is star.
Just look once again.
Snowflake.
Right. Why so? Because I have a table customer type category which is not directly linked with my F sales table, and it has a dependency on my D customer table. Okay. So that's why it is a snowflake schema. Now we are going to see if we have a snowflake schema, then how we can try to convert into a star schema. Okay. And how it is going to be better? Better it will be because now if we need any of these data set like a customer category and subcategory, we don't have to be dependent on customer type category table. It can be bring actually into your D customer table itself. Okay, so we will see that how we are going to merge these two tables into a single table, and we will make this data model from a snowflake to a star schema. So for that, what we would do is, there is option called edit queries. Okay, so edit query is actually will be used when we have to do any changes to our data model. Okay, or if we are adding a new column directly inside Power BI, or we are creating any new expression, or we are doing any uh, if you are doing any like calculations or something, that time we will do the edit query. So it is a Power Query editor. So now inside the Power Query editor, the first table what I have is a D customer table. I'll just refresh my tables here. One. All right. So if you will see that I have my this D customer table. Okay. And now this D customer table is linked with my customer type category table. on which field they have been linked on customer type. So if you'll see here, customer type is already there. I just need to bring my customer subcategory and the customer category, right? So for that, what we have to do is what it will be like, it like merging two tables. So for this, we have a something called merge queries. Okay. So now I'll select this table and I will say here merge queries. This is basically the functionality. What we're trying to achieve is we are trying to create a data model from a snowflake to a star schema by merging two tables inside a single table. Okay, so I have my main table, that is a D customer table, and now what I will do is select one other table, that is a customer type category, and I will select on my field called customer type. On the basis of customer type field, I'm trying to merge. So now if you'll see what kind of a join we are going to do here, a left outer join or a right outer join or a full join, inner join, okay, left entity or right entity. So I can say here I need all the records from my left table plus the matching records from my right table. So I will select a left outer join table, left outer join, okay. And once you click OK, you can see that the table customer type category is added here as a table. Now, once we click on this option, it will expand the fields as well. And as we know that customer type is already available with us from our main table, we don't require it. So I'll just select the customer subcategory and the customer category. Use the original columns as a prefix. Okay. So now if you will see, my two fields from the table customer type category is added here, and now if I want I can rename this as well, that I can remove the name of the merge table, plus I can rename the other one also, and if I want now I can arrange the fields also, that I have the this full subset of the data, full set of data, customer ID, customer code, name, city, country, customer type, customer date of birth, category, and the subcategory, right? Another thing, if you have noticed, when we are doing using our Power Query editor, so whatever the steps we have applied, so how we are going to see that the which steps we have applied. So under the query settings, all the steps which we have applied, if you can see, it is available here. So the merge query, navigation, all the steps, if we have to revert any step, we can just click here on the delete button on the cross symbol and it will remove the step from our query editor. All right, so once this is done, now what we have to do is we have merge our two tables, and now what I'll say is close and apply. So the changes are getting applied. So now if you will see, once the changes is applied, I will expand this. Okay. The fields customer category and the subcategory is available in my D customer table. So now what is there? I don't need this table anymore, right? So what I can do is I can hide this table from my report view. Means I need this table from the data perspective, but I don't need this table anymore into my report view. That we, if I have to take on the field customer type category and the subcategory, it is available directly into the D customer table. Okay, so we have hidden this report table from the report view, and it can be available. It will be there in our data model but won't be visible to the end user, or we are not going to use it when we are creating the visualization. All right. Now the next thing is, in our data model what I have is, so let's say this is like a functionality how we do a kind of a inner join. Okay, or basically inner join will be only for the fields. Here we are merging the two tables directly. Now let's say we have a data set coming from the different tables, and the same data set has to be used for the visualization. And how we can merge two tables which is having the same structure into a single table. Okay, so for that, what I will do is I'll go and grab some more data. And if you will see, I have the table here called D customer app2 application 2. Okay, I will take the table, D customer table. All right, so if you will see, so if you will see, there is a one more table has been added called D customer, and it also have mostly the kind of the same kind of the structure, right? Not mostly, it is actually having say only the column names might be a bit different, like it has customer code, customer city, country, date of birth, customer last name, first name. Here we just have a customer name, and then customer type is there and customer ID is there. All right, so now what we are going to see is how we can merge these two tables which is having the same structure into a single table, so that when we have to do a visualization on the data set for the both the tables, we don't have to use the two tables, we can take the data only from one table. So for that, what I'll do again, I will go to the edit queries. Now if you will see, we have the D customer 2 table here. So I'll select my D customer table, and first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the table for this structure into the same as my this table. So when we are merging, we are just going to append the data of the second table into the first table. So if you will see here, the first column here is a customer ID, and here we are calling it as a complete like a customer ID, but we have, so what I will do is I will just rename this here, okay, as a customer ID. Second field, if you will see, we have a CST code. Here also we have a CST code. Then we have a customer name, but here we have a customer first name and the last name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge these two fields together, and for that what we will do is we will select these two fields. I'll use shift and arrow, and I will say right click. If you'll say, we have the option of merging two columns. I'll click on the merge columns, and now we have to select the separator. So I will select space as my separator, and the new column I will call the same as my column into D customer as a customer name. All right, so if you will see, customer name is available here. So now we have the third column, customer name, and here as well we have a customer name. Then we have the customer city as well. Then we have customer country, customer type, which is available here. So here we have the customer type, which I will just rename again. All right, and then what we have here is customer date of birth, and here as well we have customer date of birth. Okay, now if we will see, it all looks fine, but not yet completely. If you analyze the data, you can see that customer type here is ABC, but here the customer side is gold, silver, bronze. So what I'm going to do is, here I will say that I'm going to translate my data. Okay, from A I will translate as a gold, B I will translate as a silver, and C I will translate as a bronze. So for that, what we are going to do is we will say transform. Okay, sorry, we'll go to the add column, and then we will say conditional column. So now I'm showing you that if we have to add a conditional column with a hard coded value, see, to do one task, there are many things. If someone is familiar with Excel, they can, they used to write the lookup for these kind of operation that we can create a lookup. Okay, but similarly, we have the option to here in Power BI, we have something called conditional column that we can hard code the values, or even we can parameterize the value as well on the basis of certain conditions. So here what I'm going to say is I will say it as a customer type. Okay, and I will say, okay, so if you will see the customer type already present, so I will add it as a new. Okay, and now here I will say if customer column is equals value a, then I'm going to call it as a call. Okay, add a rule, then I will say again if customer type equals b, then I'll call it as a silver, and if customer type equals c, then I'll call it as a bronze. So this is just like I'm showing you how we can have a conditional column added in our Power BI. Okay, else no need anything to add, and click OK. And if you will see here, a new column has been added, and we are just kind of translated our data from ABC to gold, silver and bronze. And now what I'll do is I'll just move this column here, and as we don't require this column anymore, I can say remove. So this column has been removed from the data model, and now I can rename it back this to as my customer type. If you'll see, now the structure of my D customer table looks similar to the D customer 2. I'll say the vice versa. The structure of D customer 2 looks similar to our D customer, right? Now what we have to do is we are going to append the table D customer 2 to D customer. And why I'm not worried about the customer category and the subcategory, because they are also coming as a part of our query editor. So once I will merge these two tables, they will be get appended automatically from my customer type category table. So I don't have to I don't have to merge customer type category to the customer 2 and then append. It can be, we can directly append these two tables, and then these two fields come from your customer type category. So how we are going to do that is, how we are going to append two tables. Last time we have seen the merge, now we are appending. So for appending two tables, I will say append queries. If you will say two tables to append, D customer is the current one because we have selected this table here, and which will be the another one, D customer 2. I'll click OK. Now if you will see, the two tables has been appended, and we can look at the data as well. So if you will see that this should come. Wait, I'll go to, so now to refresh the data, I'll just click on refresh, so we can get the data from customer type category as well. And now if I'll go here, okay, all right, so what I'll do here is I'll just go to edit queries, and I will change the order of merge queries to later. So now if you will see, the data is coming. What I have done, I have just changed the order of the applied step. Okay, so first I have appended the queries, and then we are doing the merge, so we can see the data for my customer type and customer type get subcategory as well. And now about the data type. So here we have the our hour, minute and second as well. So to transform this, what we can do is we'll again go back to our, we can change type to date and time, or date time zone. So I'll just take as a date currently, and if you see, it has been transformed as well, right? So again, we will just close and apply. Then we have the data set available, and we have seen the customer category and so from this, so I'll just write a note what we have done till now. So here what we have done, first thing is we have seen how to get data in Power BI. Okay, then we have seen how to create relationships. Okay, different types of, then we have seen how to append two tables in one table, uh, and then we have seen how to merge two tables in one table. So when we are appending the two tables, it is not necessary that we just can append only two tables. We can append more than two also at a time. So for that, if you will see option here, when you have the append queries, we have the option of three or more tables as well. Then we have to select the available tables and the to which table we have to append. Okay, plus it is not necessary that we have to append into the same table. If we want to append as a new table, then we will say append queries as new, then it will give us the table which we have to append. So I will say, let's say I want to append again D customer to D customer category 2, then click OK. Then it is going to give us as a new table which we can rename here. So I can say D customer append. All right, so if you see,
Append means combining columns.
the combining two columns,
How do you append different queries? I don't understand. You're appending two different tables, right?
right? I have appended two different tables.
How, like, that mean you join the columns, or does that mean you do like a union or?
Okay, okay, yeah, it means union all basically. Yeah, so it
Okay,
means you, yeah. So actually in Power BI, we cannot write like, the SQL once we are in the data model. Like you can write the SQL to get the data, but in my
okay.
case the data source is one is Excel and one is a XSDB. So in that scenario, what we'll do that, so we have to use the options available inside our Power BI query. Okay, Power BI query editor. So that's why we'll have all these options of, append and the different options. All right. Okay, so then what we have seen is, then we have seen how to create a conditional column, and then we have talked about how to change the data type, right? So once this is done, so now let's say I don't need this table anymore. What I'll do, I'll just, delete this. So our data model will remain intact. Okay, uh, close. So now once we have our data model ready, so now if you will see, again, this table is not required. Okay, means this table does not have any work here, right? So what I can do is I can just say hide in report view, because we have already merged the data from two tables into a single table, right? So similarly, we can do with the other tables as well, that if we want to combine the other two tables or more than two tables, can be merged into a single tables in our data model. Okay,
So
so what
I
I,
have a question. I have few questions.
yes, please tell me.
So when you do database modeling, you try to make it as you try to make it more snowflake, right? So that the
Mhm.
storage is less. But in here, you showed that we do
Okay,
the
so
opposite.
right. So when it will come to the reporting, we prefer the vice versa. We won't prefer the snowflake, because in terms of reporting, when we have to do, if we are doing it in a snowflake, you're dealing with so many joins. Okay, your overall reporting performance will degrade badly. So that time, even in any reporting tool, when you create a metadata at the reporting layer, you try to bring all the tables, like at a one point only. So if you have to bring some fields, or if when you need the data, you're just getting from a single point of a source instead of having the multiple joins there. Because so here, like, we are dealing with a very very small set of data, hardly like 100 or 200 records. But when it will come to the tables where you have so much of data, from the database perspective, why that is good, because you are you have to maintain the less data. Secondly, if there is any change into the data, you don't have to carry the changes in all the tables. But here, as the data, we are not changing the data. Okay, we are just trying to change the model of the data. So overall, the underlying data remains same. The underlying data won't change. So that's why we are
Hmm.
trying to combine and try to make more it as our star schema, instead of keeping it as a snowflake schema.
Okay, got it.
Okay, all right. So this is what we have done this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an assignment, like that you can do it. I'll just try to keep the session every day, like an hour session, and then I'll give you a 30 minutes assignment, so you can do it later and you can pass me the PBX file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this data set which I have just imported. Plus, let me walk you through the other data set as well, to tell you what has to be done. Okay, so if you will see here, I have this D customer APP2 which have just merged. So, and then we have a D product APP2 and F sales APP2 table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this sales DB new file, and I'm going to pass you this D customer APP2 and F sales APP2, and I want you to merge all these tables how have we have done, and do the conditional column, or if you find anything else, and create a data model and keep it ready with you. So when we have a next session tomorrow, you can till the time you will be able to practice also, and if you get any doubt, we can clear that as well. Plus, you will be able to move with me in creating the visualization and the other functionality as well. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so can you just ping me your email IDs in the chat box, both of you, or anyone, like, or you can share with each other later. So just give me your email ID and I'll share this data set with you, so you can. All right, so cool, guys. So thank you. I'll send you this data set, and I'll send you this point as well, what we have done, so you can perform the same thing, and I'll write the assignment which has to be done. And if you have any doubt, we can discuss tomorrow.
Hey, can you
Okay, in the
also
email.
share your this video?
Yeah, I'll send you the link. You can download from there. It will be a
Because
GoToMeeting. You can download from
because
there.
like in between, like I have to go away like for about like 4 or 5 minutes. So I think like that.
Yeah, yeah, no issue. I'll send you the link. So it will take some time to process this recording in the cloud. So give me an half an hour, and I'll send you all the things together.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks.